time, we have offensive lineman Nick Krahe. Questions for Nick? Krahe?
So Nick, you've done this for a while, but you have a new position coach. So give us your analysis on Rick Trickett. You probably heard stories. Are the stories true? What are they like? What do you learn?
I think he's a great coach. I mean, just getting to know him throughout like the winter process and now starting spring ball, obviously, he's a great coach. We've learned a lot, I would say, all kind of crammed into a short time period, but we're learning a lot, and that's good for us. Stories, yeah, I've heard some stories. So actually, my personal trainer back home when I was in high school, Jeff Lewis, as some of you guys might know, he played here on the offensive line. So he played under Coach Trickett, and he told me a bunch of stories. So I had an idea of what I was going to get into, but it's lived up to fruition, and I'm having a great time.
Have you tested his patience yet?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe a little bit. You know, we got to keep our grades up all the time. So I have one that's a little lower right now, but I'm bringing it back up. So that's probably where I've tested it.
Fundamentally, though, does he teach different things than what you've learned in the past, and what are they that he's trying to change?
I think every offensive line coach has different terminology. I think that's the biggest thing, is kind of trying to ingrain that into your mind and get that down, and just learning what to do and when to do it. So I would say, yeah, it's different, but I think it's for the better.
When you found out that Trickett was coming back, did you call Jeff? Did you say, hey, what do I need to know? Did he kind of give you some advice on what you needed to do?
So I was actually busy at the time when it was announced, and so he called me first. So he gave me some ideas and everything, so that's how that went down.
What did he tell you?
You know, he just told me some stories of how it was when he was here, and obviously it's a different time period and everything, but it's pretty much all the same, you know, hard work, getting down to the dirty work in the business and doing all that stuff.
Paying attention to detail,
Yes,
all
sir.
those things.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
How difficult is it to go through 3 different offensive line coaches in 3 years?
To be honest, I didn't think I was going to have to go through this, but I think it's made me who I am today. You know, just kind of trying to learn in different ways. You know, having 3 different coaches, you kind of figure out what you need to do for each one. But I think that's the biggest thing, and it's kind of, like I said, it's made me into who I am today, and also the player I am today.
And 3 different styles too, right?
Yes, sir. I think they're all very, like, completely different, honestly.
Yeah.
Are you different as a player? What did you concentrate on in the off seasons besides working with a new coach?
That obviously, and then I think the biggest thing for me was putting on a little extra weight. I think that's going to help me in both the run and the pass game. I think I was weighing around like 305, 307 last year, but now I'm up to like 314, 315. I think that's going to help me, you know, get more movement off the ball, be a little stronger in pass protection and everything like that.
Help us understand, 3 different coaches. What did Matt Moore emphasize compared to Bicknell, compared to Trickett? Were there differences there in what they emphasized and what was important to them?
I think it's mainly scheme. I mean, with Coach Moore, we ran a lot of outside zone, which here we do a little bit of, but it's mostly inside zone. With Coach Bicknell, it was kind of just trying to get movement off the ball, and then now it's a whole new level of things, and I think that's in the best world for us. I mean, you know, kind of getting movement, like I said, but it's everything's so in depth to where we need to be not perfect, but like perfect, if you know what I mean.
Okay. First impressions of Kevin Brown?
He's a monster. I mean, he's gonna be a great player now. He's gonna be a great player in the future. I mean, you guys see some of his weight room stuff that we've posted on Instagram, and he's a great player. He studies the game hard, and yeah.
How are you a better player now than you were last year based on what you learned starting last season at this level?
I would say experience. Last year, I was kind of thrown into it. You know, I never had a full season starting. It's kind of like bullets flying in front of my face 24/7. The game was so fast, and I think it's really kind of trying to slow down for me now, and I think that's a big thing. So I'd say experience is the biggest difference. Also technique. I think my technique has gotten much better.
Are you a vocal leader or you are a lead by example kind of guy?
I would say last year I was more of a lead by example type of guy, but this year I'm trying to focus on being a vocal leader. So kind of trying to do both of those things at the same time, I think, is the way I want to be.
Why did you decide to change that? Just because there's a lot of people that left and you're like only one of the guys to come back?
Yeah, I would say that's why. I mean, like you said, I'm one of the only guys returning, and I think we need to set the standard of how this team is and our culture and everything. So I think that being a vocal leader will help me do that.
Working with a lot of new transfers as well. What do you think of those guys? Give me your thoughts.
They all have a bunch of experience. I mean, last year some of the guys we brought in didn't have a bunch of experience at the higher levels, but now we've brought in guys that have over 1,000 snaps, and I think that's big, kind of pushing each other to become the best player we can be, and the competition, I think, is going to be awesome.
Can you talk a bit about being one of those guys that's coming back as a leader in the locker room, as someone who was here last year and was in this system last year, and there are very few of you, what you are doing and what it takes to get this locker room where it needs to be entering this coming season?
I mean, it was a no-brainer for me coming back here. I love this whole staff, and I think that's the big thing for me is, being a leader now with, like you said, being one of the only guys returning, I think is pretty awesome. I think it's going to be tough to set the culture and the standard and everything, but if everyone just follows the guys that know how it is and listen to the coaches, I think it'll be very good.
What is it like kind of inheriting that role? Like, what have you had to do to step into that role and make sure you are doing it the right way to make sure that you are one of those locker room leaders as a veteran and as someone who's been here before?
I think just my time here. I mean, I've been here I'm going on my 4th year now, and I'm also under my 2nd year with Coach Rodriguez, so I think that's a big thing, and I think that's part of the reason.
It's like blocking for Cook and Lattimore and some of these new guys. What do you see from them?
I mean, our running back room is great. They're explosive. They're fast. I mean, they know how to find the hole, and I think that's going to help us a lot this year and kind of spark those big runs that we didn't get last year.
So you may not have to be as perfect. These guys, get them with Krahe, can do the rest.
Yes, sir. I mean, if you mess up a block, they can find a way around things, but still at the same time, we want to be as good as we can.
Nick still tackle on the left side?
What'd you say? Sorry,
You
I
still
couldn't hear
tackle on the left side?
you. I've been playing a little tackle, a little guard, so kind of trying to learn all the areas, You just kind of getting experience at every single position.
I know it's day 2, so it doesn't matter. And sometimes, like, you guys brought in people who project to be tackles. It doesn't mean you can't play, but you won't be better at guard. You've talked about maturing and learning things. Is that part of the experience that, what may be best for everybody might require a move, not just for you, but for anybody, and then you kind of be open-minded to those things?
Yeah, I think learning multiple positions is awesome. I mean, let's say someone goes down, you can be like, all right, this guy can go play here, and we can shift things around easier. So I think that's a big thing, and yeah.
Or is it easier than it was last year to get that culture in place that you guys are aiming to have as a program with, you and some of the other guys that are coming back, having been there before, or with the amount of incoming players, is it still kind of difficult to get things where they need to be culture-wise?
I would say it's a little easier because, last year everyone was new to it. No one really had a clue. I mean, he brought a few guys from Jack State, obviously, but now this year we have a couple guys from Jack State still, but then you have the guys who were also here last year. So I think it's been a little easier kind of trying to set that culture and standard. So, yeah.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.